Hi there, I'm Alpha Lance with the Leaderboard, and with 6 additional heroes since For Honor's release, Ubisoft has been telling us even more about ourselves. To clarify, we'll just be covering the DLC heroes today. If you want to hear about the original cast, check out our first video here. But without further ado, let's dive right on in. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to become part of the notification squad. A few months before For Honor's release, Ubisoft announced a season pass that would give early access to 6 additional heroes, showing a shadowy silhouette of a Shinobi and Centurion, proving that Ubisoft wanted to expand on their own game gave the community more reason to stick around. Those who stayed were rewarded with fun emotes, events, and 6 new heroes to dissect. This is what your For Honor main says about you. Shadow and Might. With the first DLC of For Honor, we were given 2 gifts. 2 very frustrating gifts. Like the whoopee cushion your kid brother got, it was always funnier for the giver than the receiver. That is, until it was your turn. The Knights got the beginning of their Roman flair in the Centurion, and the Samurai reached into the shadows and pulled in their legendary cousin, the Shinobi. Both had long been leaked, so there wasn't much of a surprise, but the release was nonetheless celebrated. The Centurion. Many of the heroes in For Honor made use of both of their hands. Sword and shield, two-handed weapons, or just 2 weapons. But the Centurion made us realize that an open hand can do so much more, like punching your opponent in the face, or telling them they're garbage. With a sword in one hand and a fist in the other, the Centurion came in like a wrecking ball. If you main Centurion, who hurt you? No, but like if you're Centurion, you enjoy kicking, punching, and taunting your opponents, or you've been kicked, punched, or taunted one too many times, and now it's your time for you to return the favor. Are you okay? We're here if you just want to go into duel. We don't have to fight. Just talk it out. If you want to throw my armor-clad buttocks off a cliff a few times, we can do that. Whatever you need, okay? Or maybe you just really like the memes and or Gladiator movies, but also don't want to be the underdog. Understandable. I also love Troy. But really, are you okay? Shinobi. Coming in as the hero with the smallest life bar and the fastest feet, the Shinobi brought in arguably the biggest pile of salt. You thought running opponents were annoying? Not when I activate Maximum Overdrive. Thought standing far away from your opponent would mean you're safe? I activate my trap card, Kunai with Chain. Thought your opponent would have to stay on a visible spectrum? Smoke Bomb, now I'm behind you, kick! In our last video, we said the Orochi was for the weeb. But we gotta make a correction here. Orochi is the easy weeb class. Shinobi is the hardcore weeb class. Sure, you can be annoying, but when done right, damn, you're the min-max kind of player. You look for an advantage and you put all your resources into it. In this case, mobility. You aren't the kind of person to force your way through a situation. You know with proper prep or finesse, any situation, no matter how big, can be tackled with ease. Well, maybe not ease, but if it is hard work, you won't let them see you sweating over it, or see you at all. Grudge and Glory. In our second DLC pack, Ubisoft got creative and gave us our very first expanded Viking hero, the Highlander, a Scotsman with a claymore, 2 stances, and a badass beard. And then the Knights continued to pull their reinforcements from Rome and called upon the legendary Colosseum combatant, the Gladiator, the Highlander, showing that Ubisoft wanted to expand the forces of the Vikings without just handing someone another axe. Their ships looked west, or rather wherever Scotland ended up being moved into this new world. The Highlander showed the ferocity and ragged style necessary to earn a seat in the Great Hall. His sword has weight, his stare feels menacing, and his voice sounds like a man ready to start a bar brawl for fun. Again, he's a perfect addition to the Vikings. Do you like doing yard work, taking care of the lawn in particular? Then the Highlander is the hero for you. One sweep of your mighty blade feels like it could cut through the whole battlefield. You looked upon the warden at release and said, I guess this will do. But I know deep in my soul that something is missing, that something just needs to be bigger. But like anything worth waiting for, you were patient, and 6 months later, you finally found what your soul was looking for, plus a fur cape. You strive to be tough, strong, and you may be prone to using things that your mom probably warned you could take your eye out with. The Highlander is a class for those who don't want to be told they can't. You can't strike your opponent if they block the direction you're attacking. Nah, I think we'll just cut through it anyways. Your opponent has to be out of stamina to knock them to the ground. Eat grass, nerd. You need to wear pants to a sword fight. Pants are for losers. They'll just slow me and my massive claymore down. Gladiator. Ever look at the Knights and think, that's cool and all, but in all that armor you can't show off your like bazillion ab muscles? Well, look no further. Dance like a butterfly and sting like a bee. The Knight's second assassin is more of a bruiser than a rogue. You don't skirt the battlefield. Get it? Because neither of the Season 3 heroes wear pants to find your opponents. You find your opponents in the heat of battle. You were the class clown, a show-off at heart at least, whether it's for a crowd of thousands or just that one friend who actually watches your clips. Sure, your character might be easy to learn, but you don't focus on complicated combos to win. You watch your opponent because you don't need to be the best. You just need to be better than whoever's in front of you. You're not above using the occasional troll move, but it's not what you're all about, like some people. Besides, a little trident to the foot never killed anyone. I mean, not unless you got stabbed there a few dozen times, perhaps. Order and Havoc. With Season 4, we got the last two heroes promised to us in For Honor's release. But by now, the game had changed. It was closer to the 1-year anniversary than the days of beta. We were a different group of players, and Ubisoft had noticed that. They brought us two new heroes that practically felt like they were coming from For Honor 2 in comparison to some of the original simpler movesets, which later got changed. The rumored Ronin revealed himself to be the Aramusha, while the Viking class got a hero from out of left field, who seemed to have left her mind out there too, the Shaman. Aramusha. Sauntering in with dual katanas, the Aramusha wanted to show you that cool guys didn't look you in the eye as they hit you with a flurry of blows. Shirking armor for comfortable clothing, he relies on tried and true skill to keep him alive rather than the metal or leather. Besides, he looks like the kind of guy who'd skip breakfast in the morning because it takes too long. Then again, armor maintenance. If you main the Aramusha, you probably looked at the Orochi and just thought, something's missing. They just need something more. It's beautiful. Let's just get it out there. You've probably watched Rurouni Kenshin, and if you haven't, then you should watch it because you'll love it. Seriously, it's a classic. Yes, I know he doesn't have two swords, but the X-Scar guys, two swords, an X. Anyways, you've loved samurai and anime, but there's something you love even more. The fallen hero, the exile, the outcast, the pariah. Whether that's the gunslinger in a western or the huntsman that lives on the fringes of society. You enjoy the story of a protagonist who doesn't live by the rules of society. They have a job to do, and God help whoever gets in their way. The Punisher, Kill Bill, John Wick. Even if you go back to an orderly lifestyle enjoying the comforts of society, you like to feel unrestrained for at least a little while. The Aramusha also comes in with a flair of style that no one can question, and you may like to do the same. You don't just enter a room, you have to kick in the door because your hands are too busy being above your head as you yell, "Surprise!" It's not anyone's birthday, and maybe they weren't even expecting you, but that's not what's important. You are here, and they need to know. Alright, fine, that's ridiculous. You don't always yell. The Shaman. Were you ever like, what if we gave Harley Quinn a kukri instead of a mallet? Well then, congrats! There's a new kind of bloodthirsty warrior in For Honor now. The Shaman is insane, and not in the fun chimichangas kind of crazy, but like legit left in the woods to be raised by wolves who left her at the edge of a honey badger den because even the wolves were terrified of her kind of crazy. Brandishing a hatchet and dagger, the Shaman leapt into the game with surprising ferocity. Being able to feint with a majority of her moveset, she becomes unpredictable and quick. She has become a despised hero by many, but that's right where she wants to be. The Shaman is the peacekeeper of the Vikings, in that she's stealthy, hunched over, and dual wields, but the Shaman gets to be funner or annoying if you're on the receiving end of her lunges, sister. You want a character that's light on her feet, but also has a way to heal herself while simultaneously humiliating your opponent. You like feeling like you pulled off a good joke or prank, even at the ire of whoever else was involved, which means you're probably also the kind of person who enjoys puns. The worst kind of person. Nah, I'm kidding, I love you. You're also probably sick of people telling you to dress up, look nice, or show those pearly whites. Oh, you like this outfit? I took it off a deer that whistled at me. How about this accessory? I made it out of fingers of my haters. I'll let you guess which ones. Am I looking a little pale? Guess I need more red meat, and I think I know where I can get some. Do I not look presentable to your societal pressures? Am I not in season? Well, guess what? It's winter, and I'm gonna dress the way I need to stay warm, okay? So shut your trap before I use my bear trap. You might also be the kind of person who gives hugs even when no one asks for hugs. And that's it for Volume 2 of What Your Main Says About you. I'm your host, Alpha Lance once again, and I'm playing as a noble knight fighting a deadly samurai in a dangerous Viking fort that's clearly not up to code. And I love it. Who do you fight for? Do you main any of the new heroes, or do you stick with the classics? Did we get your main right or way off? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to click that bell icon to become part of the notification squad, and if you aren't already, subscribe to the Leaderboard, your home for video game facts.